everybody. Today I'm going to be reviewing a little game called Deuce. This game came out in 1985 for Milton Bradley, and it is for 2 players. Now, the object of Deuce is you're trying to be the first person to get to 100 points, and the way you're going to be doing that is by running out of cards. The way this game works is you're going to be placing 2 cards next to each other, and everybody's going to do the same thing, and then you can play cards on either your pile or on your opponent's pile. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is you're trying to either have the highest sum of the 2 cards on your side when you play your last card, or being able to tie it. So this game is rather interesting. It can go back and forth quite a lot, and so let us show you Deuce. Okay, everybody, as always, I'm going to go ahead and show you the components really quick, and there's only a couple. The first thing you have here is your game board, and as you can see, there's 4 different players here, and there's 2 slots where you're going to be placing 2 of your cards. Speaking of the cards, let me go ahead and show you what they are. You've got 4 different colors, and they go from the numbers 0 through 10. You also have a rainbow card, and what you have, and you also have an X card. And I'll talk about how those cards work here in just a little bit. Now, in the beginning, you're going to go ahead and deal 6 cards to each player, and I've already dealt 6, and we're going to just show off a 2-player game. And each player is going to go ahead and place 2 cards here in the beginning. Now, the cards across from each other have to either match by color or number. So in the beginning, I could play a 1 here and a 1 here, or I could play a green 6 and a green 4 here, etc. So let's just go ahead and say I'm going to go ahead and place a 1 and a 4 right over here for my turn, like so. And then my opponent's going to look at his cards, and he's got this. So let's just say he decides he's going to do both of these 2s, and he'll put this on his side like this. Now, throughout the game, what you're going to be doing is you're either going to be playing cards on your side or on your opponent's side. And the way you're going to be going out in this game is you have to have the sum total of your cards either have to tie or beat the sum total of all the other cards on the table. So what you can do is you can either play, I can either play on my side or on my opponent's side. So let's look at my cards here, and I've got a 10. Let's just say I decide to play a 10 over here, and I have a total of 14 points over here. So my opponent goes ahead and looks, and he has a 7, and so let's just say he decides to play the 7 over here because he can match by the color. So now I'm going to go ahead and look, and I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is lower my opponent's total score. So I'm going to play this blue 3 over here. So now he has 5 points on his side. So my opponent goes ahead and he looks, and he's got a red 10, he's got a blue 5, and a blue 1. So let's just say he decides to go ahead and play this 5 over here. And I'm going to go ahead and look at my cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this blue 10 on my side. So right now I've got 20 points. Now, what my opponent can do is he can draw cards, and he can draw as many as he would like, but he's eventually going to have to play something. So let's say my opponent draws, and he ends up drawing a bunch of these cards here, and he ends up drawing what is called the X card. So what he does is he's going to place an X card on one of these cards. Now the only card that can be played is the rainbow card, which is this card right over here. Now, I don't have a rainbow card, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to draw, because I can't play until I get a rainbow card. So let's just say I draw and I draw. And I've had to draw quite a lot of cards, but I did get my rainbow card, so I'm going to go ahead and play that right over here. Now, the rainbow card and the X card are worth 0. And when you have a rainbow card next to you, you can basically play any card next to it so long as that rainbow card is here. So I could play a blue card, then on my next turn I could play a green card, etc. Now, if I happen to have, say, a green 9 over here, me or my opponent can play a green card or a 9 on the rainbow to cover up the rainbow and get rid of that. And basically, it's just going to keep on going on like this, back and forth and back and forth. And let's just say I've got 1 card left, and my opponent has this many cards left. And my opponent goes ahead and decides he's going to play a 0 on me, like so. So I look at my card, and I happen to have a 7, so I'm going to go ahead and play the 7 right over here. And I have a total of 12 points right now, and my opponent has 8. So this would give me the win of that round. Now, the way scoring works is that the player that won is going to get 10 points, and he's also going to get the sum total of all the cards that are left in his opponent's hand. Now, again, rainbows are worth nothing, so you would just simply count these up, and then those points would go to my score. And you'll just keep on playing the game like this until somebody reaches 100 points, and the person who reaches 100 points is going to win the game. So, my final thoughts on the game Deuce. Well, this is a game my wife and I like quite a lot. It's a very simple little game. It's a very light game. And this game can get rather interesting at times because you can actually have a hand, if we're playing with two players, you can have a hand that'll go maybe less than a minute, and then the next hand can go like 5 minutes. There'll be times when your opponent might have one card left and you're thinking, okay, do I need to draw cards and try to like play something on him, try to increase my score, and risk having to get stuck with a lot of points. So there's some decisions that you have to kind of make on this game, and this game goes by pretty quick. It's not easy to go out. I mean, you could have one card left, but your opponent might have more points than you have, and you're going to have to go ahead and draw some cards to try to do something. So this game changes up a lot. You can have a strategy, and the very next turn you got to change it up. You got to think, where do I want to play my cards? So this game changes course quite a lot, and I like that. It makes the game more interesting, and you really never exactly know what's going to happen depending on where your opponent plays his card and what card he plays. And especially when you have that pesky X card, that can really be a pain. Now, we have a little house rule where you can actually play cards on your opponent's pile if you have the X card. This is for our two-player game. And the reason for that is you can end up drawing about half the pile of cards and not get a rainbow card, and your opponent may have one card left and he just has to play it, and you'll end up being stuck big time. So we just instilled that little house rule just to make the game a little bit more even. So you can play it that way or however you want to play it. But this is a cute little game. This is a game we play a lot when we go to the coffee house. It's small, it's portable, and it's fun. It's an easy little game. This game goes for probably about $10 on eBay, so it doesn't cost too much to get. I am done for the day. I hope you all have a great day. Take care and keep on gaming!